This is the LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr.
Hey, LowcoSports fans. Welcome to a Wednesday night edition of the LowcoSports Lowdown. Wednesday night Heritage Week. That means Heritage Eve. The real deal starts tomorrow. We start keeping score for real and figuring out who's going to get the biggest chunk of that that biggest check they give out. They're going to give out a bunch of checks, but everybody gets a check this week. No cut. So good times coming at the Heritage and talk to. I didn't get out there today. Did you get down?
I did not, but
yeah,
I have everything set up.
Yeah, my day got away from me, but I heard I talked with our friend Butch Mullis, who always helps our buddy Jonathan Wright keep the course looking pristine this week, and he said the golf course looks phenomenal. The crowd was phenomenal today. Weather's terrific. So although weather's a little dicey this weekend, but hopefully that's speculative and that stuff doesn't cause too many problems. But looks like it's going to be great. And Scotty Scheffler is in the house. He was in the media center today. We got a couple clips I pulled that we'll check out a little bit later and hear from him on the golf course, first of all, on how much he loves it. And then secondly, just kind of clarifying that his wife Meredith is due at the end of the month. So, this has been a pretty well laid plan to play up through this event and then shut it down and go home and start nesting, so to speak. So, if all goes well, obviously 2 weeks out, there's always a chance that she could go into labor, but he did say, and we'll listen to him in his own words, say that does not appear to be imminent. There's no sign that she's going to go into labor any minute. So hopefully he gets to play the whole week. And quite frankly, the way he's playing, you could see him winning again this week.
Yeah, you don't see it very often, but I remember when Jordan Spieth came down after winning that Masters, where he led from the start and hung on the entire way, and then he came down and played well. He didn't win. I don't think he was in contention at the end, but he put together a solid week at Harbortown. And so that's always cool to see, the champs coming from Augusta. You don't see it every year. Sometimes they'll take the week off, well-deserved, but, obviously going to attract a big crowd to see Scheffler, he's been here before. And when I was there, I saw him on the course once, and I saw some of his family members, which was cool. But, what an exciting time for him. I mean, you're playing the best golf of your career potentially right now. And on top of that, you are about to welcome the birth of your new kid. So really exciting. Yeah.
What a great time to be Scotty Scheffler, no doubt. He's living his best life right now. Speaking of his parents, I'm told they are just delightful. Our friend Brady Satcha actually said he spent about 30 to 45 minutes sitting and talking with them today. So they seem to be just wonderful people. And Scotty seems to be a very down to earth and level-headed guy as well. And I think some of the guys who not a lot of people have come here the week after winning the Masters, because especially in the before times, it was just common for the biggest names to just take the next week off. Obviously the PGA Tour has put their hands on the scales a little bit there and helped out some of those tournaments that are scheduled there. But it used to be the guys that would struggle would be like when Zach Johnson won, he was kind of came out of nowhere and won the Masters. And then he did the whirlwind on all the talk shows in New York, the next week, the next few days and whatever, and then came here. That's a little different than Scotty Scheffler, who, won his second green jacket, went out for a beer after, and then went home to relax for a couple of days. So I think he's coming in pretty well ready to go. But you did get out tonight to the lacrosse matchup, girls lacrosse, or boys lacrosse, excuse me. The guys lacrosse against Waccamaw. And we were expecting it to be a pretty good matchup in that 4-5 game, but no. Number 4 Hilton Head domination.
Ran him out of the field. That was impressive, and it was definitely a tight game early. But once they found the rhythm, it just kept winning face-offs and moving really well offensively, and just a really well-oiled team. I was very, very impressed by what they were able to accomplish tonight. And a tough Waccamaw. It was, I think, one of those cases where they just didn't give off the bus. But credit to Hilton Head for really putting it to them from the start of this game. And Brady Saba, with an excellent performance, got to talk to him for a bit afterwards. But Lucas Thibodeau with 4 goals and 3 assists for 7 points. But I think the big story was the play of Tyler Bennett in goal, 21 saves. He was huge early when I thought Wakima had a nice start to the game and they were getting some looks, but there was nothing much they could do against Bennett. He was rock solid in goal, and that's what you need in this time of year to win in lacrosse postseason. So, I mean, that's everything you would want from your goalie, and he did that. And the offense came to play as well, and just a really complete effort by a Hilton Head team that some great finishes right there. It's great, some of these players have been around this team for a while, and I think it's starting to really come together, and the pieces are starting to fit, and they're just making good passes and good quickness to get open, and they were shooting the ball well. They just kept finding the back of that, and just great design plays, great coaching, and all around a heck of a performance from the Hilton Head Seahawks to begin their playoff run. But now they got to go on the road to Lucy Beckham. So, I think they've got to be feeling good from what they did, and now you take your best shot against the number 1 seed.
Yeah, and a team that they're familiar with. They played them in the regular season and lost. I'm trying to look up what the score was. It was 10-3. So, not a whole lot to hang your hat on there from the first meeting. But, I would say they got down 7-1 at halftime and played them pretty even in the second half. So maybe something to take away from there. But certainly Hilton Head seems to be playing, if not their best ball, very close to it right now here at the end of the season. This is an impressive showing. So hopefully they can go up there and get off to a good start and, hang around. And the longer the underdog hangs around, the more dangerous they get, So if they can be in a game at halftime, maybe they got a shot.
Truly. Yeah, I mean, that's what you got to do when you're on the road. I mean, obviously all the pressure is on Lucy Beckham earning that top seed, but for Hilton Head, I think they fit the underdog mold. They play it tough. They play great defense, which you really need to in order to, and you got to have a good goalie, and they showed that with Bennett. So that's, if you can produce that same effort on the road, you're gonna be right there and have a chance to win. So great start to the postseason for the Seahawks, and this is a team that if they can continue to click, they can make it tough for the Bengals, and that would be really nice. We've seen Lucy Beckham a ton throughout the sports calendar, and they've been able to get the better of us. But, this is an opportunity to really make a big statement here.
Lucy Beckham is 11-5, but they have not lost to a South Carolina team. They lost to Cannon, which I think is from Atlanta, maybe. Charlotte Catholic. Roswell, they beat West Forsyth. They lost to DeMatha and Lake Mary. So they've played a very stiff schedule. They've played a lot of out-of-state teams. They've beaten a lot of out-of-state teams. So this is a really quality squad. So no shame if it does end at Lucy Beckham for Hilton Head, but a great win tonight to extend their season by another game and get a shot at the number 1 seed. See if you can't knock them off. Good stuff. Man, you had a lot of they gave you a lot of highlights tonight, Wes. A lot of goals. Good times. There you go. Showing the goalie love. Love that.
Yes, hug your goalie. That's tradition. And they were hyped.
Especially when he only gives up 2.
Yeah, that's you don't see that very often. 2 goals allowed. Right. I mean, and 21 saves too. I mean, that's a high number. He was tested. He had to make some big saves.
Massively high number. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that could have been a very different game if a few of those slipped by. No doubt. But you caught up with Brady after the game. Got to see his magnificent lacrosse mullet.
Brady, we're Hilton Head. We just beat Wakama. It's a good game. We played good. We played as a team. Getting ready for Saturday against Lucy Beckham.
Tell me about how well you guys played defensively early on to help shut down the opposition tonight.
Our goalie, Tyler Bennett, played amazing. Only let in 2, 19 saves. The rest of our defense was able to lock them down.
How have you guys improved as a team throughout the year?
Our camarade's gotten better. We've been able to just work together better. We're a team. We share the ball. make smart plays.
How important has your leadership been and your presence on the field and on the sideline for your team this year? How fun has this 2024 season been for you?
It's been fun just being with the guys and being able to share these good moments with them.
You get another shot against Beckham. What are you looking forward to about that opportunity?
Just get another chance to smoke them, beat them up.
Love it. All right, congratulations. Excellent game tonight. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
That's pretty laid back dude right there. Get a chance to smoke 'em.
He's still just takes about his business and gets it done. Yeah.
Yes. Very, very stoic and zen-like. But no, good stuff from Brady. Love to see kids having fun playing the game they love, man. I mean, there's a lot to be said for that.
Yep.
Just kids are having a good time, and they seem to have a really good chemistry and camaraderie going right now, like you said, and enjoy playing together and for each other, and that's half the battle sometimes. So we'll see. I like the mentality going into that rematch with Lucy Beckham. They're excited for another shot at him. Well, the other half of our boys lacrosse doubleheader did not go well. Oceanside beat May River 19-5. I think that was expected. May River made big strides over the course of the season. I talked with Tommy Heber, their assistant coach, last night, and he was talking about just how young they were and how excited they are for the future because they bring back so much, and they have a bunch of 7th and 8th graders playing JV and stuff that they're excited about getting some kids into the pipeline. So exciting stuff coming ahead from May River, and Hilton Head stays alive, keeps lacrosse season going for a couple more nights. They play at Lucy Beckham on Saturday. Saturday. All right.
Yep.
Yeah, good times. So we'll have to keep tabs on that, and hopefully the Seahawks can pull that one off. Let's go through some scores, and then we'll shout out some sponsors before we dig in a little bit deeper. Patrick Henry Baseball wins the region championship with a 10-0 win over Thomas Hayward in 6 innings. Hugh Ferry with a no-hitter faced the minimum. Did allow one on an error, but then they erased him. Brighton Peoples, Jacob Corley, Nathan Corley all had 2 hits and combined for 7 RBIs. May River got revenge on Beaufort 10-2. Got on top of them 9-0. Gunnar Hollingsworth hit a 2-run homer, but not much else doing for the Eagles tonight. Max Van Esselston with a solid start. He went 3 2/3, and then Will Korn went 2 1/3 in relief with 4 strikeouts. Trace Mishik was 3 for 5. Tannen Mankowski 2 for 3 with a triple. Aaron Guthrie had a big double and 2 RBIs. Jordan Reed, a couple RBIs. And then the freshman Conti got in and pitched it.
Yeah.
It was Rast that went deep? I thought it was Hollingsworth that went deep.
Pretty sure it was Hollingsworth.
Maybe the announcer said it backwards because I swore they said that.
Dylan Rast on Game Changer had the home run, so that's what I see there.
Weird. I swore they announced Gunner before that batter, but I got it on video.
Gunner had a double.
I guess it was Gunner who doubled and then Dylan who homered.
Yeah, Rast had the home run. Yeah.
Yeah, he got into it. He got it pretty good. Last pitch Max got to throw.
That's a nice bounce back window for May River, and then Will Korn.
Yeah, it's a really good bounce back. Yeah, they didn't want to have to pitch Will this week, but it's okay. It'll be fine. But they got James Allen next week.
Get some rest. Yeah. Ooh, Donnybrook. That's the big one we've been looking forward to. So.
Yeah. Should be Monday, Wednesday, right?
Normally is.
Yeah, at James Allen Monday and then home on Wednesday. So that's going to be good times. And then also other scores around. Screven County baseball 15-0 over Hampton. And college softball, USCB with the sweep over Coker 7-4 and 8-1. Complete games for Sierra Kinlaw and Abby Ramirez. So we'll chat about that in a little more depth when our friend Max gets here after work. But let's shout out some sponsors. The MVP sponsors of LowcoSports make this all possible, and it starts with my wife, Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of LowcoSports. She is with Keller Williams of the Lowcountry. She'd love to help you find your place in the Loco, or maybe upgrade to a bigger, better place in the Loco if you want to put that house on the market. call on Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of LowcoSports, and my wife. Homegrown Home Inspections is our official home inspector. Jan Lucas and his team are the best in the biz, and we'll make sure that you're making a great investment. And if you are building a new home, you got to have that phased inspection where Homegrown Home Inspections will go in and check on the build every step of the way, make sure it's built right the first time at Homegrown Home Inspections. Mickelson Law Firm is the official real estate closing attorney of LowcoSports and our presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage. They've been with us since the beginning in 2017, and we appreciate Mickelson Law Firm for all their support and hope you will call on them for your legal needs. And Hospice Care of the Lowcountry, official hospice provider of LowcoSports, the only not-for-profit hospice in Southern Beaufort County. They offer all kinds of great services for folks who are dealing with the end-of-life journey, and we support them every step of the way at Hospice Care of the Lowcountry, because it's not about dying, it's about living. That's MVP sponsors of LowcoSports. Getting into some headlines for you, Wes. A couple of things that came across my radar today. First
Nick
of
Pringle.
all would be, yes, Nick Pringle has entered the portal. So he's got 1 year of eligibility. So he's basically 1 year free agent contract to whomever, makes the most appealing offer, I guess. I would think his services would be in high demand. You kind of know what you're getting, a high energy guy who can go to the boards and give you some energy off the bench probably, or he's been a starter for Alabama as well. I can't say I'm terribly surprised, because he just kind of had the rocky relationship this season where he was sat down a couple of times, and I just wondered if he might just throw his name out there, because I think there's going to be a lot of people interested, and I know Gamecock fans are getting excited on Twitter today, so they've already got their ideas about where he might end up. What do you think about Pringle in the portal, man?
Unexpected for sure. I did not think that. There's a few ways to think about it. First, after building what he did at Alabama, it definitely hurts for that program to lose him, because he was the spark plug to that team in many ways as they went on that run to the Final Four. And certainly he's built himself a great rep there, and just sad for that program. But at the same time, it can really be, if he wants to really find a home where he can not only thrive there but compete for a championship, and he finds somewhere that is perfect for him, then why not seize the opportunity and look for best home for yourself. And of course, you're looking big picture. Is there a place I can go that can give me even a bigger chance to progress further in my career into the professional level? So a lot of thoughts right now during this period of his career. And it's, 18, 22-year-old kids, it's hard to kind of weigh a decision like that. But I expect him and the people of his corner, in his corner, family members and others, to make the right choice. But certainly an unexpected piece of news, but I'm pumped to see where he lands, because I think he will be in high demand wherever he goes at this point after what he did in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I think so. Let's see. Here's somebody who has 5 landing spots for Pringle. Let's see what they say. Not that they know anything.
Take it with a grain of salt.
Let's see. Yeah, exactly. Let's see what they think. They like Nebraska for some reason, Georgia, Texas Tech.
I don't know
Mississippi State. I don't know what this is based on. And South Carolina. Now, South Carolina makes sense.
South Carolina makes sense. Yes.
It makes sense. I know one of the things that's fueling speculation is that Cam Scott announced today that he was released from his NIL and his deal with Texas. So, and he's going to Carolina. And Pringle commented flame on his post. So, of course, the Carolina fans are like, he's coming. Man, Pringle comments flame on all kinds of people's stuff. Like that's what they do to each other. Like they hype each other up. Like that's all they're doing. That don't mean anything. But Carolina would make a lot of sense. It would make a lot of sense. At the end of the day, he's probably going to hear from a bunch of people he expected to hear from and a few he didn't. and he's going to weigh it all, and he's going to make the best decision for himself and his family. And you'd think that Carolina would maybe factor into for his family part, just being closer to home. But you never know. They managed to find their way out to Arizona when he was playing for Alabama in the Final Four. So I think they will support him wherever he goes. So best wishes to Pringle. I'm not shocked that he jumped in there, but I am. It's definitely he's betting on himself again. That's what it boils down to. But I was thinking about it tonight though, and it's got to be a weird deal for a guy like that who's got 1 year of eligibility left. He's got the option to throw his name out there and see who bites, and it's probably going to come with an NIL tag attached, because the reality is that NIL money is going towards bringing in players more so than keeping players. And it's kind of like Verizon. You get your introductory rate and then it goes up, and the new customers still get that introductory rate, but you don't anymore. Once you're the veteran on the squad, unless you're of such a value that you can command some money, you're kind of just stuck. So it's a gamble a little bit, but I think there's going to be a lot of people who are very interested in his services and probably have some financial backing to make it happen, potentially including John Calipari's got all that Tyson Chicken money at Arkansas now. So we'll see. We'll see. A lot of guys are looking to rebuild rosters right now, and you could do worse than starting with a guy like that in the middle. But in other portal news, Marcus Overstreet made his commitment to Mercer. So former Sand Shark going to Mercer just up the road. I think he'll be able to make an impact. I think he'll be a impactful player in that conference. Not certainly that he to the degree he was here. But I think that's a level where in the Sun Belt where he can be pretty effective, and he'll have to add to his game a little bit, I think. But I can see him having a successful run there.
Yeah, it's tough to see him leave the Lowco because he was the driving force of that very first USCB team, and I mean almost single-handedly powered him to the conference tournament with his rebounding skills out there in the court, and he really became a complete player at the end of the year. So that's the guy I'm really going to miss, but I'm not surprised that he's testing the waters and seeing where he can end up, because he is ready for that next year of college basketball in my eyes, and he can eventually make contributions for Division I squad. He's that level of caliber of a player, and so I expect him to really see him become a star somewhere in the future, or at least not a star, but a supporting player on an upper level team. So that's kind of where I think he is at the moment. And, it's cool to see him get a start here under the first year, because that's, you'll never forget this year where you came from to start off. So, that's a guy that we remember a long time here.
No doubt. It was really fun to watch him, man. It was really fun. I hate to see him go, but I understand too. He really caught lightning this year and had an opportunity to take his stock to another level, and can't fault kids for chasing a dream that he missed out on the first round. I'm sure he wanted to go play D1 basketball first time around. He landed at USCB. Now he gets the opportunity. So best wishes to him, and thanks for a really sensational freshman season. It was fun to call those games and call a bunch of jams and exciting plays from him. And then in other transfer portal news, still more transfer portal news, Jalen Linder is in the portal. Former South Carolina State receiver, still got 4 years of eligibility. So he's looking elsewhere, and that's another guy that I think he needs to find the right place where he can play, where they can get him on the field. But once he gets on the field, I think he's going to be impactful. Whether that's at the D1 level or D2 or where that is, I don't know. But best wishes to Jalen as well. Big fan over here. Love Jalen Linder.
Yeah, he's the best. He's awesome. Really cool to see him develop as a football player, but then on basketball court as well. Multi-sport star. And he's quite the athlete wherever you put him out there. And that's someone who's locally grown, and always makes it fun to see what he's able to do out there. And another guy who we definitely have to keep our eyes on, got a bright future at the college level, and always such a great kid, good head on his shoulders, and always so kind to us, and just a great overall Lowcountry homegrown product.
Yeah,
and that's someone who.
Go ahead.
That's someone who really came on, during his sophomore year at Bluffton, and he just kept building and building. And I just remember his junior season was a bit disappointing, but then he really found his groove in that senior year on the football field and carried over the basketball season, and man of many talents. So wish him the best. He's fun guy cover, fun guy to be around, and great that he made an impact on the Lowco when he did.
I already know one guy who'd like to see him at one school, but I won't say nothing on the air yet. Let's just say there's at least one place that is very interested in Jalen Linder, but I imagine there are quite a few once they get a look at him. He's got some things you can't teach, and got some well developed skills as well. So look forward to seeing what comes next for him, and would love to hear from more of our Lowco alums. If you've transferred or in the portal or at a new place from where we last kept track of you, holler at us and let us know what you're up to. We want to keep tabs on you guys and keep cheering you on from afar. But let's shout out some more sponsors, and then we'll dig into some more stuff and get back around to the Heritage, because we're teeing off tomorrow, boys and girls. The varsity sponsors of LowcoSports: DDS Web Design builds, hosts, and maintains websites for businesses and nonprofits to get results. So if you need to get found online so you can do more and think bigger, go to ddshhi.com. Parker Law Group serves legal needs across Hampton, Colleton, and Jasper counties, and they've jumped on board to help us continue to expand our coverage into those counties and shine a light on more deserving teams and student athletes around the Loco. I think we're going to get to Stricklander again on Friday, maybe, to talk a little about the boys out on the farm and some Skiza stuff. Reverence Wrestling Club, the official wrestling sponsor of LowcoSports and the presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind. It's the place to be if you want to take your skills on the mat to the next level. Check out their Facebook page for info on their free freestyle camp this weekend, clinic rather, as well as the Reverence Ironman coming up. And then they've also got a clinic over in Beaufort coming up as well. So lots of opportunities to get on the mat at Reverence. And Dr. Ambrose Cole, the official chiropractor of LowcoSports. He's at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton, and he'll get you feeling right, mind, body, and spirit. That's Dr. Ambrose Cole. Those are our varsity sponsors. Wes, how about that? We haven't seen Max yet, but how about that USCB softball team coming through strong today?
Yeah, great way to finish off the home schedule. Really impressive win. 2 wins over Coker, 7-4 and 8-1. Great pitching all around. Sierra Kindler did a job. How about Abby Ramirez in game 2? Just 1 earned run in a complete game victory. 7 innings, 5 strikeouts, did not walk anybody. So I've mentioned her on the broadcast, someone who's really come along as a dependable starter and dependable pitcher on that team. And she's really starting to look the part of someone who can help that squad tremendously in the coming years. So Ramirez looking like the real deal. Tamaya Whitlock, 5 for 7 in the series in a doubleheader. Drove in 2 runs in game 2, triple in game 1. So good to see that from her. She's been a nice spark plug and really quick on the bases. Suri Simmons has had a nice year too, but Tamaya Whitlock has taken a big step forward this year. And then Mackenzie Four, who has been excellent drawing walks, but also has some power to 3-run homer, 2 for 3 with the dinger. And then J.C. Coleman in her last day as a St. Charles player at home, as she was recognized on Senior Day back last weekend, and now she put together a nice performance, 2 for 4 in that Game 1 win. So this is obviously your season is like you're eliminated from the playoffs, but this is a great step in the right direction for a program that is still building and growing as a transition member of this Peach Belt Conference. And you take this positively because sweeping is not easy no matter who you play. Taking 2 out of taking up both of them is never a sure thing. So great job, the Kodieski squad. Now you see what you can do. Obviously, you play this last series and you try to finish strong and put together some more wins to, continue to build yourself for what's to come.
Indeed. Really good showing today, and good to see that they haven't packed it in. They came out and fought and played one of their better days of softball of the season, probably, all around. So good to see. Sorry, I was doing a little stat blast that we'll get to in a little bit, but yeah, good to see from them. Baseball's at home this weekend against Flagler, and needs to probably get at least one, if not two. Every win is precious right now, with a trip to USC Aiken next weekend, where the last spot in that conference tournament is going to be on the line. So, you going to be on the call this weekend?
Yes. It'll be fun to head over there for that last series. A lot at stake for baseball. I mean, just a game back of USC Aiken to that last spot. So you need probably at least 2 years to put yourself in a position where you're going for it the last weekend up against USC Aiken and have a chance to potentially win 2 out of 3 there and play your way in. So it's still in front of them for that USCB baseball squad. I'm pumped to see what they could do in a huge setting in that game, in that series. So they're playing a lot better. They've obviously, you're going up against Claflin. It's the bottom feeder of the conference, but as we said, they're never easy to get, and they got the bats going. Pitching was solid, and now you build on it as you go back home. And it's an emotional senior weekend, and they have like 11 or 12 seniors as they're going to honor over there at Richard Gray Sports Complex. And you'd love to send them off with some wins, and then put yourself in the right spot to keep playing and keep battling. This team has that right mentality. They can sneak up on you. We've seen them pick up a couple of walk-off wins, so maybe we can have some more dramatic victories coming up this year, or in this final series. But I mean, Julian Galassi, he's started to really become red hot. Aiden Tristel-Sadusky has transitioned into a really solid, not only infielder, first baseman, but an excellent hitter. He's got some power, and finally breaking that home run skid, I think, was huge, because now you go back home. Obviously, it's not much of a hitter's friendly park sometimes.
No, it's a big yard.
But at least just to see some home runs from your team is a good thing to experience.
You got a lot better chance this time of year than you do early in the year, because early in the year the wind's always blowing in. It's rough out there in February and March.
Yep.
But this time of year you might run out of the yard. But it's not easy to get one out of that yard. Driscoll-Sadusky is up to 333 now.
Wow.
Galassi's been swinging the heck out of it lately, though. I love that guy. I've been waiting on him to really break out, and it's been happening this year lately. But unfortunately, he's a senior, right? I don't know if he has a year of eligibility left or not. Senior doesn't always mean out of eligibility these days.
Right. Yeah.
You know what that means. You're going to be a senior for several years. But well, hey, our friend has made it home. Let's get Mad Max Arraj in here. What's up, buddy? How's life at Publix today?
How are y'all doing?
Doing fine. You missed most of the excitement. We talked lacrosse. Hilton Head with the big win tonight. We talked a little USCB softball, the sweep tonight as well. But I was just going to do a little stat blast, so I'm glad you're back. We can circle back around and talk a little more about high school baseball tonight, because Patrick Henry got the win 10-0 over Thomas Hayward in 6 innings with a complete game no-hitter from Hugh Ferry. Allowed one base runner, erased him, faced the minimum. Outstanding stuff there. Brighton Peoples, Jacob Corley, and Nathan Corley, all 2 hits, combined for 7 RBIs. But here's the stat blast I had for you. Joe Schroeder from May River. He got a hit tonight. He was 1 for 3. He also pissed on one to center field that Brutcher tracked down. Would have been a double against a lot of center fielders. But Schroeder now has a 12-game hitting streak, which is fairly significant for high school baseball. Remember, 7-inning games, you sometimes only get 2 or 3 at bat. And he, during that 12-game hitting streak, he's 20 for 43. But over the last 6 games, he's 13 for 19.
Oh my
That is
God.
just
Yeah, call it
absurd
hot
carry
streak.
count.
Woo!
Yep.
Wow,
Indeed
that's
it is.
ridiculous.
He also
That's
has a
insane.
9-game RBI streak. He has driven in a run in 9 consecutive games, which is also remarkable.
He keeps this
Wow.
up going into the playoffs. This is going to be dangerous.
17
Good
RBIs
Lord.
during that stretch, and that's over the last
God.
9 games. So, dude's on a
That's
tear.
insane.
Erskine is getting
Yep.
a bat.
Oh,
Man,
you
that
get a good
dude,
one.
that bat will play. That bat will play.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
So
will.
yeah, I just had to jump
You
into
will.
that. Joe Schroeder, whew, on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only got 1 knock tonight, but Trace Michick had a good night at the dish too, 3 for 5. He's having a really good year, and I think there's some people on him, so I think he's going to get a shot at the next level. But yeah, we've kind of gotten through it tonight. There's not been a whole lot to talk about, but we can shift gears back to the Heritage because it tees off tomorrow, and I had the tee times pulled up here somewhere if I can locate them. Now I don't know where they went. There they are. But yeah, too many things open on too many tabs open. But here we go. Tee times for tomorrow. Alejandro Tosti, first one out at 8:15. Let's see if we find some good groups to follow. Just pairs instead of threesomes because of the
Oh, wow.
limited field.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a little shift for us. We're not usually used to that.
All right.
If you're getting out early, I like the Griot and Cameron Young pairing. They're both,
Max Homa, Tommy Fleetwood.
Yeah, that's an excellent
that's a
pairing.
good pairing.
Scheffler and Spieth obviously is that's the A pairing.
Yeah.
And then they flanked them with Keegan Bradley and JT Poston and Wyndham Clark and Sahith Theegala. So, and then Homa and Fleetwood and then Thomas and Kisner. So that's a good run through there. If you wanted to post up and you know, here's a place. Here's what I would recommend. I would post up at 2 green and watch those groups go through there and tee off at 3. And then I would probably hang out there because 2 green's great. You get some eagle passes. You get a lot of birdie. And then you can easily pop over to 6 green when those groups start to come through again. It's right behind 2 green. And you can watch them play 6 green, which is a really interesting little green. Always has some really befuddling putts. And then tee off at 7, the par 3 with the trees guarding the tiny green and the bunkers all around, which is a great hole.
Right.
And then you can follow them through 8 up to 9 and then watch everybody go through 9. That would be my game plan if I were trying to watch that particular run of kids in the morning.
Be a ton of fun.
That's one of my favorite spots on the golf course. Is you just walk straight out to 2 green. You post up right there. You got 2 green, 3 tee, 6 green, 7 tee, all right there. It's just a really, really good little.
There's a ton of cool vantage points. Yeah, there's some new additions as we've seen from Brady Sacha. Tees over there at 1, and that's always nice because you're walking. You're walking a lot when you're following some of those players, and so it's nice to be able to just sit around, especially at the first tee. It's cool to watch a couple guys tee off, and maybe you have a view of seeing also right near the driving range and the putting practice.
That's a good grouping.
Yeah.
That
Morikawa Schauffele.
Yeah,
that's the one to keep you around to the end.
Oberg and McIlroy.
Oh, that's
exactly.
Oberg and McIlroy. That's a good one.
Taylor and Fitz and Harmon and Sungjae. It's a pretty good little.
Did I miss Cantlay?
Well,
did I miss Cantley's tee time?
Somewhere. There he is. He's with Seamus.
Oh, there he is.
12:25.
Okay.
But I mean, it's going to be big names.
I like that.
It's going to be big names everywhere you look. It's going to be a good time. So look forward to getting out there. I'm trying to get out there tomorrow for sure. I did not make it today, but I scheduled a 9 a.m. meeting to make myself get halfway to the island so I can make myself go on and see some golf tomorrow. But Scotty Scheffler is here, and he was in the media center today, and I clipped a couple of things. So let's see when.
Very different. I think sometimes when you're coming from Augusta, we were talking about it today because I think, is it 14 that's the long par 3 with the water? I think 14 is a par 3 with the water, and the green just looked so small. And I was sitting there with a 6-iron looking at this small green. And Augusta, everything's kind of really big at times, and then you come here and everything is really, really small, it seems like. And so I think it's a great golf course. I think it's a lot of fun to play. I think it's very interesting. I think for some people, distance debate type people should, if they're ever looking at golf course design and how to combat people only trying to hit the ball really far, need to come here and do a case study on this golf course, because it's really, really good. You got to curve the ball both directions. And you have to control your distance. You have to control where the golf ball's going. It's not just a place where you can go bomb it.
All right. Well,
that was good stuff. And then on the
do the best I can. I'll be spending a bit more time
new
at home
baby
preparing,
situation coming.
I'll just take a break when the baby comes, but we'll see. I don't know what life looks like, but up until when the baby comes, I'm going to play this week, and then I'll go home and basically just wait. We're due at the end of the month, and we'll see when the baby comes. I don't know. Like I said last week, golf now it never was my top priority, but I do love competing, and I put in the work, and so it's going to take another notch down in priority when our child comes. But my family still comes first, and we'll see how the prep work goes.
All right, we'll take the last one right here with Doug.
Hey, Scott, I was just curious just how Meredith was doing. Has she shown any signs, any early indications?
No, nothing yet. That's why last week I felt like the story got blown up a bit too much.
That's why
I feel like I don't really talk about my personal life very much, just because then I have to answer questions and hear about it, and it's just a bit different. But yeah, no signs. No signs of early labor or anything like that, but she's feeling good. Very tired, but feeling good, and I'm sure she's probably getting pretty close to getting ready to have that baby.
All right, Scotty Scheffler, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
But that's kind of what I alluded to last night, was like when he didn't even flinch about coming here this week. I was like, I don't think that baby's like as imminent as we were led to believe on the CBS Masters broadcast. They were acting like
they said,
she's waiting.
Originally
to pop,
they said, they said late April. I mean, we're only in midway through April, so I mean, they said late April at the earliest. So like, I was like, I think it's just worried, like, but there's always the chance.
Good narrative, and so like everybody knew that she was pregnant. So I think the question came up like, what would happen if she had the baby? And he's like, well, I'd leave, of course. And then everybody latched onto that, like, oh, he might have to leave because she might have the baby. It's like, well, that's not quite what he said. He said, if something happened and she starts having the baby, he's out of here, which of course he is. And the same goes this week. But at the same time, it's pretty clear at this point that this has been a pretty well planned out thing. They knew the due date. Yeah. They said, okay, 2 weeks before we're shutting it down. That puts you through the Heritage. And so he went ahead and committed to the tournament, knowing that obviously something could happen. But I love that he's here. And the way he talks about the golf course, you feel like he thinks he can win here. He seems to really revere it and love it and appreciate it, and is taking it very seriously this week. He also commented in there that he's not here to just walk around and play golf and be on vacation. He's here to try to win the golf tournament, and he's going to take it very seriously. He did only play 9 today. He played the back 9 in the Pro-Am. He said he'll see the front 9 tomorrow when he gets on the golf course. But I mean, this is the kind of place where you don't really want to go out and try to attack the course terribly aggressively early anyway. You want to kind of feel your way around it for a couple of rounds. Nobody who leads in the first round ever wins this thing. Like, there's always somebody who goes out and shoots 62, 63 and then just fades away. You've got to play this course kind of carefully and methodically and pick your spots. If you try to go for everything, it will get you eventually.
Yep. Now, technical course, and that's why we see some of these players who love it keep coming back, and that's why we've seen Spieth succeed consistently. Matthew Fitzpatrick, who we all thought was due to win here at one point, and he got it done last year. So it takes a special breed, special assortment of skills to win here, and it tells you why some people love it here. Some people, go only one time and then don't come back. It depends. Depends on who you. But most people love it. Yeah.
Yeah. but definitely it's not for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, we've said it already. This is by far the biggest RBC Heritage we have ever had in the 50-plus year history of this tournament. I mean, you look at the roster, and it's just stacked. I mean, gosh, if I could get to the Heritage this year, it would be so much fun. And like we said, good crowds this weekend too. And there always is, but I think this one's a bit more special with just how great of a field it is.
Selling out. The last couple of years has been selling out. Like it didn't used to be like that. It was sold out, but like you could still get tickets. But people are like trying to get tickets nowadays. It's a little different. It's some of those fields didn't really have the kinds of names that would necessarily draw people to come from far away. But we're starting to draw that kind of field now. And when you compare it with, think about if your family loves golf and you're gonna make it a vacation to go to a PGA Tour event this year, like
what's better?
There ain't many places on the list better.
You gotta go to the West Coast
and a golf tournament than this.
Yeah, or the Players, but Players is expensive. It's much more affordable, around here sometimes in Hilton Head versus other spots, and it's a great
and at the Players, if you're staying anywhere near the golf course, you're not close to the beach. Like you can literally stay on the beach and be walk onto the golf course if you have the means around here. So no, it's an incredible event. One that I remember watching on TV as a kid, and then it's a funny story actually. When I applied for the job at the Island Packet, the only thing I knew about Hilton Head was the Heritage. Like I knew nothing else about it. My wife was like, "Where is that?" I said, "South Carolina. They have a golf tournament there." Like that's what I knew. And then now to have covered this thing for, I guess this will be my 20th. Yeah, this is my 20th Heritage in the Lowcountry, I guess. So no, that's not true. That's not true. It's my 19th. Next year will be my 20th. So that's pretty cool
up there, man.
Yeah, I know. Well, I got here in 05, but I didn't cover a Heritage till 06. Battle A was my first.
Oh, okay, fair enough. It's just, unless you go to Pebble Beach for vacation, other than that, there's not really a better place to come on vacation for a tournament. Really, it's
Pebble's on that list probably.
Pebble's probably on that list. Plus,
maybe Hawaii for the Tournament of Champions. That would be. That'd probably be on the list. But it's a very short list, and most of them require a much larger outlay of cash than this one would.
For real. Because the Pebble Beach Pro-Am, that is so special because you got all those big celebrities that come out and play.
Yeah.
That Pro-Am.
I can't even truly say I'm a huge golf fan at this point, but I'm a huge Heritage fan. Like I've become.
Oh yeah.
Like I was a bigger golf fan probably when I got here than I am now, just through course of life, but because I played more and was more connected to it, but my love for the Heritage grows every year, and for the history of it, and because I think there's such an intimate relationship with the hometown golf tournament and the golf course that you've actually played, and you've hit some of those shots, and year after year seeing different players come through and hit the same shots or play the same golf course, you start to be able to, the longer you do it, the more you're able to connect back to moments that stood out. I'll never forget the first one I covered, Aaron Battalay's 6-iron on 15, 236 yards 6-iron on 15 onto the green to make eagle, and ended up winning the tournament. And there's Boo Weekley's back-to-back chip ins, and it's just like there's so many moments that I'll never forget, and they're all tied up in that place in that tournament. They all come back every time you get back out there. So it's really cool.
So the first thing that I always think of when it comes to RBC Heritage is that picture of Arnold Palmer. When he won the tournament, and you see the lighthouse in the background that hasn't been built yet. I mean, that just shows like how long this tournament's been going on. It's such
and
a
what
cool
a
picture,
vision it was.
Yeah, what a vision! It's such a cool vision to start off with, and look at it now. It's one of the top tournaments on the PGA Tour every year.
They literally laughed at him. They're like, they can't do a PGA Tour event there. They did.
Yeah, right. I mean, that was yeah. It's just so cool.
It's an unreal golf course. It really is. It like, I have such appreciation for it, and Pete Dye. I mean, I have such an appreciation for Pete Dye in general, and Alice Dye. Say her name, baby, because she was a big part of it too.
Yeah.
That golf course, the Dye course at Carlton River, is phenomenal. I mean, just diabolical golf courses, but phenomenal at the same time.
Yeah.
So beautiful, and I can't wait to get out to Harbor Town. I'm pumped just thinking about it now. I can't wait to hear the roars and be back out there. So good stuff, fellas. Looking forward to the Heritage. Any last thoughts on the Heritage before we?
It's cool to have a different look this year. To have the smaller pairings and just more stars out there on the course.
Yeah, it's like a boutique tournament.
Yeah, and you're showcasing off the best of the best, and you're getting. I mean, Scheffler, McIlroy. I mean, the names just go up and down, and they just rattle off.
Oh yeah,
they're everywhere.
It's unreal.
And just think
the
of
names
where
are
when
unreal.
you came here 20 years ago, what this tournament was and who was playing in it, and now you're getting the very best.
I mean,
and I think
we'll
the
just do the top 25. You got the top 26 guys in the field. There's Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, Xander Schauffele, Wyndham Clark, Ludwig Aberg, Patrick Cantlay, Max Homa, Brian Harmon, Tommy Fleetwood. Like, that's just the top 10. It's an unreal list of names.
My point is that we've seems like every year has gotten better, but I think we look back at the one we had in June in 2020. It was the second event back from when they had to restart the tour. And that really drew the attention of a lot more players and just fans because it was the only sport on television at that time. And I think from then on, it really it gave a really good outlook on Hilton Head and just this area. And I think it just kind of continues.
Sorry. I forget. I wanted to get this across my mind because I have a good story from the COVID years for the RBC Heritage. The 1 year where they just didn't allow anyone to be at the course.
Right.
Me and my dad were in Sea Pines that day working. We got done with work and we decided to sneak into someone's backyard and go and watch the Heritage. We brought 2 lawn-haired chairs with us.
That was the only way you could see it, right? Was if you were
on the course. We went to an empty rental property and just sat in the backyard and just watched as they came through. And it was so cool. I was like, dude, I'm getting to watch a PGA tournament for free.
So weird. That was a weird year. You know what else was weird was the wind year when we had the final round on Monday. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was weird. Yeah.
That was my favorite Heritage. That was my favorite.
I was there for that one. I think I was there on that Sunday when it got called. Or it got postponed. They had to delay the finish until Monday.
That was my favorite day of the Heritage ever. Was the day that they postponed it due to wind, because the Aussies started a cricket match on the practice green using out of bounds stakes as bats and tennis balls, and that was great fun. And Boo just sat up. Boo was leading the tournament, and he was just sitting up there in a rocking chair, just talking to us, telling stories like it was we was sitting around the campfire. And that was the closest that I ever got to any golfers was during that day, because we were all just sitting around with nothing to do, and everybody was just hanging out, shooting it, and they were talking to us like real people. And especially Boo, he only knows how to talk to you like a real person. And like, I got to know Boo and some of his buddies on like a personal level, and on a real human level. And that was really cool. Because you don't always get that. There's a little standoffishness at times. But anyway, fellas, looking forward to another great Heritage, and we will break it down each night here on the Lowdown. I figure we'll just go ahead and do Saturday and Sunday Lowdowns, and
Yeah.
Talk Heritage,
Perfect.
right?
Yeah.
Might as well.
We get some guys on, and
yeah, absolutely. So the Lowco Booster Club helps us keep going, and it includes the Court Lifestyle Pros. Daniel and Debbie Court are Lowco natives with Charter One Realty who want to bring you home to Hilton Head Island. It's a great time to come. Come on down. Revive Rehab, Women's Health, and Pelvic Floor Physical Therapy. Dr. Allie and Dr. Jen will get you feeling right after you have a baby. We might have to refer her to Meredith Scheffler, Eagle Creations. They have promotional items and custom apparel, as well as custom gift baskets. You can go see them over on Argent Boulevard and see everything they can do for you at Eagle Creations. Jay's Barbershop is the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. You can always get a great style and spicy conversation at Jay's. And Barefoot Floor Care of the Lowcountry. Floors so clean, your feet will thank you. Call my guy Chris Odom if you got them dirty floors. That's the Lowco Booster Club. You boys want to shout anybody out tonight?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. I don't want to go with the entire Hilton Head boys lacrosse team, but two guys in particular I want to mention first. I'm going to go with the goalie Tyler Bennett, 21 saves. I mean, how often do you see that number of stops? That's incredible. I mean, held it down early on and really was a difference because if some of those shots go in, whole different kind of game when you walk them up ahead, and Hilton would have to battle back. So huge performance by Tyler Bennett. And then Lucas Thibodeau with 4 goals and 3 assists. He was relentless out there and just put it to him in some big moments. So great win by those Seahawks, and excited to see how they do up against Lucy Beckham and what should be a fun contest.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Max, you got a shout out tonight?
Justin Schroeder, man. It's just what a beast, man. On an absolute tear, extended his hitting streak to, I think, what is it now, like 8-9 games or something like that now. Another good night by May River. Kind of a revenge win against Beaufort. After losing on a walk-off on Monday night over there. Coming back in just a completely different game for May River, ended up getting the win 10-2. But Joseph Schroeder, man, he's on a tear. And if he can continue this into the playoffs, that May River team is going to be dangerous with him and Will Korn playing at the top of their game.
Yeah, and Brasington is really good. He's really good. He's a tough out, and he is really good in center field. Their outfield is excellent.
Oh, it's solid.
Real
solid.
I think they're going to be fun. I want to see how they do against James Island next week. I still think they may be able to steal one there, but we shall see. Good shout outs there. One shout out / clarification. It was Gunnar Hollingsworth who went deep, according to the Beaufort game changer. So I think May River might have had it wrong. Who was up to bat in their game changer, but I was not crazy. I did hear them say it was Gunnar Hollingsworth up to bat before that home run. But my shout out, I was going to go Hugh Ferry. 18 batters up, 18 batters down, although one of them did reach on an error. No walks, no hits, 5 Ks, 6-inning complete game, no hitter, 10-0 over Hayward to clinch another region title. And looks like we'll be going to the farm for the playoffs, boys. Number 1 seed.
Yeah.
More home games at the farm. So yeah, shout out there. Shout out to Hilton Head lacrosse as well. Just moving on. Good stuff. All right, boys. I reckon that'll do it for tonight. What are you guys getting into tomorrow? I'm gonna go to the Heritage.
Yeah, I think that's the big ticket event.
Hilton Head Prep at Patrick Henry tomorrow on the farm.
Oh, underrated game right there.
But it's a real good game.
Yeah, there's a haul out there.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Oh man, I don't know. I would love to go to the Heritage, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. But
the USCB golf starting the Peach Belt Championship tomorrow too.
Yeah, that's right. And then let me think. I might go watch JP2 at Thomas Hayward.
Softball?
That could be interesting. I might drive out there for it.
Yeah,
that's baseball.
Not bad. Got Hilton Head at JP2 softball too, but
Buford's at James Buford. Buford softball is playing James Island tomorrow.
Right, that one's on Buford's own, I believe.
At James Island,
Javon has that.
He's driving out there.
I'm pretty
Javon,
sure.
Have fun with that traffic, boy. Dude, that traffic's gonna be fun. Good luck with that.
Yeah, he's got it scheduled for tomorrow. Buford James Island softball.
All right.
Wow.
And then, yeah, that should be interesting. And then, let me look tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to be at the USCB baseball game against Flagler to start off that incredibly important series.
Friday.
Yeah, Friday. Friday. Yeah, incredibly important series there to start off on Friday. Yep. So I'm going to be there. Hopefully, Wes, you will be there.
Yes, 6 o'clock.
And
first pitch.
We'll be ready to go and get rocking for what should be a really good series and a really important series for USCB.
Oh, here's a little low-key good one on Friday, too. Buford at Colleton County softball. That's pretty good.
That is a good one.
Yeah.
That is very interesting. I like that one.
How'd that get it? But I don't think that's still on the schedule. Actually, I don't think that's still on the schedule.
Oh, okay.
That was on there at some point, but it's not. It's not. I just saw it on our schedule, and I was like, whoa. But no, it got removed.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. Yeah, I thought so.
I don't even know how that got in there.
The other one, well, actually, no, this isn't. The other one I'm going to be keeping an eye on for Friday is Hilton Head Christian Academy is driving up to play Augusta Christian in baseball.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how that one goes. I hear Augusta Christian's been decent this year, so that should be an interesting one.
Yeah.
Obviously, non-region game, of course, but this should be an interesting one. And then, they come home and finish off next week against Colleton Prep at home, and then they'll be at JP2 to finish off the season. So it should be interesting to see how Christian Academy finishes out the season. But
Indeed.
Getting ready for that.
Oh yeah, baby, let's go. So busy weekend ahead despite the spring break. Heritage starts tomorrow. We'll have a report from Harbortown tomorrow night at 10, as well as reports on what else is happening around the Loco. So jump on with us, just get caught up, and let us shine a light on everything happening on the Loco sports scene. Thanks so much for jumping on with us tonight, coming along for the ride. Thanks to our sponsors who make it all possible. And we will see you next time. For Max Arraj and Wes Kerr, till tomorrow night, go Loco.
The Loco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Loco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Loco.